and welcome to another exciting episode of the TBH Show, where we talk about the journey of career professionals and entrepreneurs, how they started and why they are doing what they are doing. Today, I have an amazing lady with me on the show. She is a front-end developer who felt that she can't just code for companies, but it is important for students and young people to learn how to solve problems using coding. So she became a coding instructor, thereby starting up a venture that has been very impactful in the lives of young children. Called Kishron Innovation Hub, they have been training children ages 5 to 16 on coding and how they can read, write, and solve problems using coding. Thank you for coming on the show. Her name is Inioluwa Titilayo.
Thank you for having me on this show.
It's so exciting having you. I mean, looking at all the impactful things you have been doing, I feel like I am very interested in knowing, why do you think that children need to learn how to solve problems using coding outside what they are being taught in the classroom?
Yes, I believe children have the ability to think, to create, and to innovate. I think there's a saying that says that, catch them young, right? Every child has the ability to think and solve problems. So it's important that we catch them young. They have potentials. They have endless creativity. And I've seen how coding helps them to harness that creativity that they have inside.
That's amazing. So what's possibly inspired you outside this? Was there a story or an event where that's something that ticked you? I mean, something that inspired you to say, oh, aside the fact that these children need to do this, is it a particular event that coined up the whole journey?
Okay, for me, I can't really paint an exact story that led me to, make up my mind and say, oh, I want to teach children coding. But I remember that, while growing up in primary and secondary school, I did not have that knowledge of tech. I did not know how to operate a computer. What they taught us in school was just computer science, just the theory aspects. And I've always had this background in teaching children. So when I got to learn tech, I began to see that, oh, wow, I love tech. Growing up in primary and secondary school, I did not have that knowledge of tech. I was just being taught theory in computer science, and I began to know more about tech when I was almost done with university. And it was something I fell in love with. And I thought that, okay, children can actually have this understanding. They can actually learn to code. I wish that I had that background in coding when I was younger. It would have helped me to develop real life skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and also make me, try. Because I noticed that because I had that tech skill, when I even started working as a graphic designer, as a front-end developer, and also having a business centered on teaching children coding, because of that background I have, it has actually helped me to, solve some problems without having to pay for certain things.
Wow, that's amazing. But looking at you are in Nigeria and you are a Nigerian, so do you really think that coding is something Nigerian children are prepared for, the digital world as a whole? Do you think it's something they are prepared for from home?
I would say children firstly, I would say children have that potential, they have that ability, they are very creative. But I would say that, most parents and most schools have not really captured the importance of coding. These children can code. They have endless creativity in them. I've seen that out of experience because I've seen how children, through coding, get to build different things. So I would say that, in Nigeria, parents and schools, yes, we have parents and schools that are doing so where they know the importance. But I really say there's still that gap around that Nigerian parents and schools need to really see the importance of equipping their children with the right coding skills.
Wow, and that's actually what Kishron is doing. You're trying to fill in that gap.
Yes, we are trying to fill in that gap and, making, I really want to see a future in Nigeria where, Nigerian parents and schools really see the importance of coding and also even have that right measure to judge a child's progress in coding.
Wow, that means even if Nigerian children or Nigerian parents are not ready, you are ready to make them, help them get ready.
Yes,
That's
yes,
amazing.
yes, yes.
That's amazing. You're doing a very impactful job. And I can't even imagine what is obtainable for a child aged 6 who starts working with you and works with you for 2 years. What would likely be obtainable around such a child?
Okay, for children that are young, from ages 5 to 8, we start them up with computational thinking,
Okay.
problem solving. For them, coding is not something hard as people think. Coding is introduced to them in a fun and a visual way. They see drag and drop blocks, they get to build beautiful animations. They are so happy. So by that, they learn sequencing, they learn logic, they learn how to, problem solve. They learn how to think critically, and they learn how to creatively design things that are in their, in their mind. So they see how to just bring ideas they have in their mind to life through coding. So what they are introduced to is, we introduce them to fun visual programming language to make them strong in their problem solving skills, their critical thinking. So majorly what they build is majorly to strengthen that that problem solving skills, that critical thinking, and learning sequencing, learning logic that they need.
Wow. So is there a child, do you think there's a child of any capacity that may not be able to code?
I do not believe that there is no child that can code. It's like saying that, can any child learn how to read and write? The same way they can learn how to read and write, a child can code. Just that their pace might be different. The way a child learns coding, the pace might be different from each child, but every child can learn to code.
And it's something that should be exposed to every child.
Yes, it's something that every child should be exposed to. It's something that every child should be exposed to. It's really beneficial for them. Really, like I do say that, coding is beyond the what they get to build, whether it's website, game, which we emphasize they are going to build that, but the real life skills that matters, like critical thinking, resilience, persistence. Even if they don't become experienced programmer, because of that foundation they already have through coding, it prepares them to thrive in whatever field they are into.
So could you please give me an example of what is, when you say critical thinking, how can a child, is it like there's a course or there's a particular task or an activity that can help them develop that critical thinking?
Okay, that's beautiful. When you ask that question, I have various examples in my experience of teaching children coding around that. I've had to teach a child using Scratch programming language, that is visual programming, a visual programming language for younger children. And there was a point where we needed to combine conditionals and score in a game. When he had that roadblock in that particular project, and I asked him that, okay, let us assume the child's name is Toby. What do you think is wrong in your code? And it was looking at me, because one thing I emphasize, I won't give you the straight answers. I want you to develop that skill. So when I teach children coding, which I also put into my instructors, I want you to, be able to problem solve what is wrong in your coding. And I was walking him through the process. We're brainstorming together. So he was able to say, oh, score is in this particular block variables. This particular block is in conditional. And wow, we're able to, get that. So that, for me, that moment was beyond. I was able to get the answer. He learned how to problem solve, how not to just, because I hit a roadblock, let me give up. He learned how to, and because of that foundation they have, when they are getting to more complex programming language, they've learned that they have that foundational skills that is needed for them to thrive in that aspect.
Okay, so you host summer programs, and the record says that you return 80% of your parents during summer programs.
Yes, please.
What's the secret to that?
Okay, so parents saw the visible progress in their child, and they saw they were able to build different things, fun projects, and beyond that, you know, the real life skills they get to build. They saw how they became more confident to present their projects, you know, how we were patient. Like I will talk about that part, how we were professional. You know, they saw who these particular instructors were patient because of how sensitive the age range of children we are teaching. We have to be patient with them. We have to understand their pace. So that really made them, you know, oh wow, I want my child to continue learning coding, you know, at Kishron Innovation Hub.
Wow, I can see you are doing a very amazing job. So,
Thank you.
In all of this, do you have partners that you work with? And are you open to CSR programs? What are the ways that you're looking forward to expand and grow?
Yeah, so we explore partnership with schools, primary and secondary school. You know, for our kind of brand, which is a social impact brand, you know, partnership is very important. So we partner with primary and secondary schools, you know, to bring in coding into their curriculum, which is age appropriate and fun and engaging for them. We're also open to CSR projects, CSR partnerships with companies, NGO, government organization, you know, that are interested in, you know, equipping, you know, children with the right digital skills.
How about people with disability? Are they able to participate in these programs as well? Do you think they can benefit from this coding program?
Yes. You know, from my experience, I have a child, one of the students I teach, who is a special needs child. And recently, you know, I got to experience that. And, you know, my heart goes, they are very beautiful. I saw how, you know, they can learn coding. They have creativity, you know, not like how the world paints them to be like, oh, maybe they can't learn. They can actually learn coding, you know, just that their pace is quite different from, you know, so you have to understand them. So I'm actually looking at, you know, we're actually looking at exploring coding programs for them so they are able to learn. They are able to learn. So disability, like I said, is just physical disability. It does not affect their mental capacity. So majorly for coding is your mental capacity it is working on. So physical disability does not have any issue, does not affect how they are able to code.
So that means people who are looking to impact people with disabilities can consider this coding programs for teenagers.
Yes. It's very beautiful. Children and teenagers that have disability, you know, special need children. You know, I feel that there are no programs enough that explore tech in that area, equipping children within that beautiful range. You know, we don't have enough tech program that explore. So my heart goes, and I'm really, you know, looking at that. You know, doing something like that.
Wow. So Kishron is actually capable of making a huge impact in their lives.
Yes. One thing is that, like I said, every child can code, irrespective of their gender, their status. We want to make sure that our programs are, which I'm always big on, and which I pass on to my team, is that, you know, every child can code. You have to understand every child's space, making sure that our programs are inclusive to every child.
Where do you see Kishron in the next 5 years with all of these impacts that you have highlighted and what is obtainable? Where do you see Kishron Innovation Hub in the next 5 years?
I actually see Kishron Innovation Hub as the leading digital educational brand, you know, empowering young learners. So for me, the measurement of success is beyond student enrollment, you know, seeing our students, our alumni do beautiful things in tech. They might not, every one of them might not end up being software professionals and engineers, but I want to see that, you know, in whatever career they are into, they are doing big things, you know, the real world skills that really matter, they are really putting that to use. And like I said, when a child has that foundational skills, you know, it helps them to be able to innovate. So even if they're in a whatever complaint, why people are seeing problem and passing it by, because they already have that foundational skills, they can say, oh, this is a problem, why don't I step in and do something about it? So for me, that's one of the major sources where I see Kishron the next 5 years. Be the leading digital educational company, empowering children, not just in Nigeria, in West Africa, in Africa as a whole.
Wow, that's really amazing. But the thing is, in all of this, there's no way there can be any form of challenge, right? I'm sure that over the past few years or ever since Kishron existed, there's been some kind of challenges you have had running Kishron or making this impact in the life of these children. So I'm just wondering, what could be the challenges that you must have had?
Okay, thank you so much for these questions. So one of the challenges which I'm actually looking at, which one of them I had mentioned earlier, is that not all Nigerian parents or schools really see the importance of children learning coding, and we also have some range of parents that they want their child to learn coding. They know the importance of learning coding, but they don't have access to the right tools.
Oh, wow.
I know parents that, they want their child to learn coding, but they can't afford to get a laptop for their child or even a device for their child. So it's actually very touching. I'm actually looking at ways. That's why I say we are open to CSR partnership. We can reach out to children, in empowering them with the right coding skills and even with the right tools for them to learn coding.
Wow, that's amazing. In all of these things, I think there's a possibility of a parent or a child starting a program and not finishing it, right? Because I know that inconsistency is a skill or a problem most Nigerians have. So have you had any situation whereby a parent was excited about starting a program, enrolled their child, and then midway when you felt, oh, this child is really doing amazing now, and at some point they stop?
Yes, these are part of the challenges, or let me say risk that happens in my kind of business. Every business has their own risk, right? I've had times that parents, they are so excited. They know the importance of their child learning coding. They enroll their child. Their child are doing so well, so they can come up with, oh, the laptop had issue. I know a parent that the laptop had issue for almost 4 months, and because of how the economic situation of the country is, it might take process for them to it took a while before she was able to get a laptop for the child, and it's quite a whole lot because there's that inconsistency there. For me, I manage situations like that is follow up. I want to make sure that even if they are not able to, register at certain months, I follow up for them. How is your child doing? How are you doing? Send resources, just keep up on them. It's actually, shows that you really treasure them as clients. So I see them beyond, if their child is in our coding classes, they're actually part of our family, part of what makes Kishron Innovation Hub. So one of the part I manage that is follow up. When they see you follow up, you are concerned, they kind of remember that, oh, these people are not just about the client-to-client relationship. They're actually interested in the welfare of their child. So that's I do follow up on them, and even if they are situation where I have to partner with vendors, to get them the right tools that they need, I partner with them on that.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you're doing it really shows that you're making efforts, you're concerned about their welfare, and it's beyond just coding for you.
Yes.
Honestly. So then that brings me to ask, how does the program run? Does it have a duration, and what are the classes that you have?
Okay, so our summer program runs between 3 to 4 weeks, which is quite intensive. They have projects that they work on. There's a project showcase, and they get certificates and access to class recording. So our classes, we have different learning formats, which is quite flexible, both virtual lessons, physical lessons, that is in-home tutoring, where we go to teach children in their own homes, and we also partner with schools. So each learning mode has its format. For schools, we run 8 weeks in a term, where they learn different projects, and there's a form of showcase at the end of the session. So for virtual lesson, because especially when it is one-on-one, we take it at the children's pace. Remember how sensitive the age range is. They are not like adults that you can have a fixed how can I say it, number of lessons you're going to give them. So, and because it's one-on-one, a parent can cancel at any time. So we make sure that our curriculum is flexible. Our curriculum is flexible and quite inclusive. So majorly for each level of each curriculum, it runs between 12 to 16 weeks. Or let us say 12 to 16 sessions, because a child can have more than one session in a week.
So in all of this is the structure, right? So how about the courses?
Okay, we have courses for every different age ranges. We have Scratch programming, we have Python programming, we have web development, we have artificial intelligence, game development, app development, and these courses are tailored to every child age range. So a child starting from 5 to 6, we are not going to start the child with web development, it's advanced. So we make sure that whatever they are learning is age appropriate.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great.
And we have more courses that are, coming. So stay tuned.
Awesome. But you don't have anyone for me. That's my concern.
For now, we are focused on that age range.
That's amazing. Well done, Inioluwa.
Thank
You're
you very
doing
much.
great. So, has there been a child story that moved you deeply? Something that reminded you why you do what you do?
I have countless stories. I have countless stories. And I think that's what motivates me, that keeps me, doing what I do. I have a recent story was a child in one of the schools I teach, one of our partner schools. So I'm like one of the instructors that, go there to teach coding. This child, when we started the coding class in the school, the child was shy. He was very shy. He avoids eye contact, and because for me teaching children coding is beyond what they get to build, I'm very concerned about their welfare and a child's confidence. So I had to call him aside and said, oh, you really matter. I noticed that you are shy, you avoid eye contact. I had a conversation with him, and I kept engaging him with projects. We had projects because our curriculum is project based. We kept engaging him in our classes. There's even times that I have to say, Toby, just intentionally engage him, that makes him talk and not avoid eye contact. Almost some weeks before the end of the term, I saw that, when I came into the class, he was smiling. He was able to present his project to me. And even his teacher noticed that, Toby's confidence has grown so much. Toby is now confident, to relate with his classmates, to present his project. And it was very heartwarming that, a child that was shy and was not confident, but because of our coding classes, the child is now confident. In less than 6 weeks, the child is now confident to present his projects, to his classmates and even teach, his classmates. For me, that was a beautiful transformation.
Wow, I can even imagine how you felt.
I was so happy, actually.
That's great. So I strongly want to believe that Inioluwa is not just about coding and Kishron, right? I want to believe that there's a fun part of you. There's something you enjoy doing when you're not coding. So I'm just curious. Could you please tell me what that is?
For me, I enjoy relaxing. I love listening to music.
What kind of music?
For me, it might seem strange, but I love rap music.
No, it shouldn't sound strange. We all have different interests.
So I love gospel rap, Afro gospel. I love listening to music like that. And basically worship too. I love music like that.
So we should play some music for you too.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, so outside music, is there any other thing that
music relax? So for me, I can stay at home once I'm working, and for me, I'm not someone that really loves going out adventure. I prefer staying.
So you think you're an introvert?
Yes.
How do you spend holidays when you're not working? If you're always an introvert, how do you spend the festive seasons?
I spend time with family and friends, and that's one part that I'm also looking at exploring. Going out for hangouts. Going out. I'm actually exploring. I'm getting better at that. At least this year, I went out for events. And I saw that it's actually very beautiful.
Of course.
When you get to network with people, smile, and just enjoy yourself.
And take pictures.
Of course. One fun fact about me is I love taking pictures and videos. So even when as I look like
So let's take pictures. Well done, Inioluwa. So I'm just thinking what you might want to say to every parent out there, Nigerian parents who have children between these ages. What would you like to tell them?
What I would say to Nigerian parents is the world is becoming digital, the world is becoming tech-driven. You want your child to not just be consumer of technology, you want them to be creators of technology. You want to equip them with skills that matters, that enables them to thrive in whatever career path they're into. So I say to you, register your children for coding classes, support them on their learning journey, and you will see what your child will be able to do beautifully.
That's amazing. Nigerian parents, you have the message, you know what to do with it. Now that brings me to ask, because in all of this, you're an entrepreneur, right? So do you have any message for every young person or a career professional who might want to toe any path that can make impact in the life of other people? Do you have anything you would like to say to them, judging from your experience and your journey so far?
What I would say to career professionals who are looking to, explore any path, they are looking, they have passion to go into is be consistent at what you do. Keep showing up, build trust, because consistency builds trust. And whatever aspects you want to venture into, I would say, be consistent, build that trust, because I know that growth compounds, right? Any successful venture you see out there that are making impacts, they did not start one day. They were consistent, they were able to build trust, and you see them doing well whatsoever. So show up, keep showing up, even when it does not feel like it feels like you're not seeing the results immediately. Just keep showing up. That's what I would say. Because first, let me give you a disclaimer that there are times you feel tired. Your passion, as I'm talking now, there's passion, right? You say, Inioluwa, sees beyond, for her, coding, teaching children coding is beyond that. But I'll say there are times I feel tired, but, I keep encouraging myself, keep showing up, and that's why parents and partners trust us, because they see that level that, Kishron Innovation Hub, when they say something, they do it. They show up at the right time, and they are consistent. So, see you at the top.
That's amazing, Inioluwa. Thank you for coming to the show. This is TBS Show, where we spotlight creative professionals and entrepreneurs who are making impact in various categories. And today we have our one and only Inioluwa, who just shared with us her own journey and how she has been able to make impact in the life of children. For how many years again, Kishron? How long have you been running Kishron?
I've been running Kishron for almost 1 year now.
Amazing. So we are looking at how many children have you impacted so far?
We've impacted almost 100 children.
So you see what is obtainable. If you don't start, you just have to start perfect. Absolutely.
Just show up.
Absolutely. So you just have to start what you need to do, start making impact in your little corner, and just very soon, the world will hear your voice and you'll be able to make as many impact and solve as many problems in the society. So don't forget, if you need to teach your child coding, this is Inioluwa, and then you have to visit Kishron Innovation Hub here in Lagos State, and you can also have your classes run virtually. Thank you for coming to the show, Inioluwa.
Thank you for having me. I really had fun talking about this.
All right. See you next time on TB Head Show. Bye.